Hi, and welcome to this episode. On this episode, I'm going to be showing you how to insert your stories, the number of stories to specify whether it's a 2-story, 3-story, 4 stories, like that, and also how to edit these stories and how to generate your members to other stories. So I'm going to be taking you through that process right away. So to insert your story, all you need to do is to click on this story and click on, and then you right click, then you click on insert story. But now Protastructure sees your ground floor as story 1, it sees your first floor as story 2. So for us to design one suspended floor, we have to type in 2. So it's going to interpret this story 1 as our ground floor and story 2 as our first floor. Okay, so add intermediate story, generate members from selected story. I'm going to be showing you that as we proceed in the training. Okay, so but I will click on OK and I will click on yes. So once I click that, you can see here it's showing me story plan, story 2 plan. Okay, so I will double click on story 1 and then to bring back that model which we have done. It's actually in story 1. Now if I click on these stories and I right click, I can come to edit story. When I come to edit story, I can specify the depth of my foundation. Now mind you, the depth of your foundation comes mainly from the soil report will determine how deep you are going with your foundation, or sometimes based on the number of stories. I will always encourage you to get the simplified reinforced concrete design by Victor Oyenuga. It's a book. Okay, there is the one for foundation, and then there is the one for entire reinforced concrete building design. Okay, and then I will encourage you to actually get those 2 books. They are very, very important. If you are wondering where to get it, you can get it through me as well. Okay, this foundation depth, you can specify the depth of your foundation. So assuming the depth of our foundation is 1200. Okay, and then here you can see you can specify the height of your story. Mind you, the story height is actually based on the architectural drawing. So when you look at from the elevation or maybe from the cross section, it will be able to tell you what the height of that building is. But you know, for most residential building, except in special cases, the height of your buildings are always 3 meters for residential building. So it varies based on the design. When it comes to a church or a mosque, the architect is in a better position to explain all of that. So they have higher heights because of the transfer, or the basically transfer of your sound. Okay, it will easily move when the height, the headroom is high. Okay, so that is why in your churches, in your mosques, the heights are always high. But like I said, the architects are in better position to explain all of that. So the height of the building is gotten from the architectural drawing. So you specify, you maintain whatever the architect has done in his architectural drawing. So once let's assume what the architect gave us is 3 meters height for each of the floor. So if 3 meters is what we have, all I need to do now is to click on OK. But then you can see similar stories. There are cases where you have similar story. I'm going to be explaining all of that even as we proceed as well. But this building, mind you, it's a reinforced concrete building, and that is why we are leaving it as structural system to be RC. Here also the structural system is also RC. Okay, so I will just click on OK. So once I click on OK, brings me back here. You can see I'm still on story 1. all I need to do here now, I can generate all of these members and take them to my story 2. Okay, but then let's say, what if I have maybe like a small cantilever here? I can introduce that. Let's say this is a cantilever. I can insert a slab here. If I want to insert this slab, I can insert and simply just insert this, and then I have my cantilever. Here we go. You can see it here from here. So however, there are so many ways to achieve this, because there are cases where it may not be as large as this, or in a case where maybe this cantilever is just at the width of this cantilever is just, let's see, 1000, for example. In that case, oh sorry, mind you, whenever you want to offset, make sure you take note. If you are going down, it's always negative, so it's going to be minus 1000, and then I will type in and I will click enter. Now you can see what I have here. Minus 1000 is what I have here, so I can simply just insert. Now it's easier for me to insert here because I have this bounded here easily, so it's easier for me to insert here because I have axis here, I have a grid here, I have grid here, I have grid here. There are cases where you may probably not really have grids bounded in this way, and in that case it may come a bit more difficult or more complex to achieve your axis. In that case, you can achieve it in so many ways. Actually, you can as well just stretch this to, you know, it's a model. You can use the software to actually do modeling. So and in the place of modeling, the pattern you may adopt may be different from what I will adopt, but the basic thing is for you to probably have the proper result, okay, which is the major thing. Okay, for as long as your modeling is right, the software will be able to interpret it properly and then analyze it properly and design it for you. So you can achieve that. But in a case where if I encounter maybe a more complex one, I'm going to be showing you while we still proceed in the training. But you can see all of these still look very simple and easy to actually insert your cantilever. It's as simple as that. You can just insert this as a cantilever. Okay, so that is that. Now you can see we have inserted new panels. All you need to do, just like what we did earlier on, you can just come to your filter and just filter only the slab, and then go back and just rearrange them from your review. Here you can click on relabel and just relabel it again. As simple as that. All I need to do now is to select, sorry, the problem with I think this is one area this Protastructure really need to work on. This thing doesn't go off in another, once another window pops up, it will never go off until you close it, until you close that window and go back and close it. So I can relabel my slabs so that it will rearrange it for me, because I just introduced some new panels. Okay, and I can as well come back under this slab here and click on set slab, and I'll click yes. So it's going to rearrange them and then specify it based on the boundary and all of that. Okay, so this is our model. I can generate this to the top story by right clicking on them and and then I'll click on generate members to story 2, and I'll click on OK. So you can even specify the members you want to generate. You may probably not want to generate all the members, so let's see if I can. It's difficult, you can't really undo, but all you need to do is just to select those members that you don't want to, that I don't want them to appear here, and I will delete them. So let's say I don't want this here as well, delete it. So I can okay, nice. Okay, that's very good. You can see that some of the columns here were not generated because I believe it was not properly highlighted. So I'll come back to that story 1 and highlight and make sure I'm highlighting these columns as well. So let me come to this filter, make sure it's not on. Okay, only my slabs. That is the reason why I'm having that issue. So I can come back and regenerate. If I click on generate members to other story, if I click on story 2, you can see select members only. I can select the particular structural member I want to generate to the other story. So I don't have slab opening, I don't have slab strip yet, because I don't have rib slab here yet. I can generate, I don't want to generate slab to the top story. There is no brace, no shear wall, but even if I leave it nothing, it doesn't have any effect too, because I don't even have it in the model. So but if I leave this, all of this, and I click on OK, so it's going to now generate only these structural members that have been highlighted, although there is a mistake here. I will delete them manually. Okay, so this is my model, but if you check this model very well, this is 230 by 450 depth. The one for the roof is also 230 by 450 depth, which is not economical. For your roof beam is supposed to be 230 by 300. So if I select only the beams and I highlight all my beams, so I will just click on right click, I will right click on it, and I'll come to the property. So it's going to pop up the property for my entire beams. Like I said, this is one of the issues I have with this software. They need to really work on it. But if I click on this at the top here, and I click on this one that looks like a pencil, I can highlight and change the entire depth of my beams at that story. So I will select everything back and bring back everything to its normal layer. But if you look at this, I think even at this point some columns are still not generated. So I can just manually, you can see I can manually select them from the 3D model as well, and just right click. So the software is very interesting, user friendly. Okay, so if I click on story 2 and I click on OK and I'll click on yes, you can see those members have been generated to the top story. So in the next episode I'm going to be showing you how to insert the wall load. Okay, so we are going to be inserting our wall load in our model. Okay, so make sure you stay safe.